Hey, what up, YouTube? It's your boy, The Visionary. Welcome to another episode of Fireside Chat Preludes. Giving you an update on current events. In particular, this one article I found in the New York Times that showcased Obama and his administration hammering out the details of his new healthcare law. Now, the reason why they were doing this is to give people a general idea on the specifics of the healthcare law and what it covered, and basically there were certain points that they gave out. Like, number one, you can't be discriminated against if you have a pre-existing condition. Basically in the past, it was left up to the insurance companies whether or not they decided to take you on if you have a pre-existing condition. Most of the time they did not, because you represented too much of a risk that they would have to pay in the case you died from your illness or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I think that's good. Another point was about, let's say, had to do with old people. Now, generally, old people, at a certain age, you would have to pay, like, 4, 5, 6 times the amount you would have to pay if you were, 20 or 30 years old. His new healthcare law basically states, people at a certain age cannot be charged more than 3 times the amount that a younger person would be charged for healthcare. That's good, because I never really thought about that. Like, wow, older people just get beat over the head for general good healthcare, and all they really get is medications and shit like that. So I don't think they should be, beat over the head that much for, basic healthcare. Another thing that I thought was interesting was the stipulation on companies who offer healthcare to the employees. And let's say you want your employer to cover you more. You want a higher percentage of what they covered. So what happens is they would initiate incentive programs, and what these were basically they would do the checkups. They'll do checkups and on you and see, okay, are you healthy? Are you exercising? Are you doing this, that, yada? If you don't have any pre-existing health conditions, if you're generally healthy, you get a higher percentage, and if you keep that up, you keep that percentage. If you do not fit those things, they have other programs where it's like, listen, we're going to create a plan, and every stage of this plan that you meet, you'll get a percentage boost. Let's say 1 or 2% or whatever, until you meet the quota that we expect you to meet. I thought that was really good, and that, to me, that would be a perfect that would be a perfect incentive to keep me working at a job where it's like, okay, I'm healthy, or if I'm not healthy and I'm trying to get healthy, you're helping me out with trying to pay for my medical benefits and my expenses and stuff like that. I like that. I'm gonna look more into that, and I'm gonna give you more on that later. Second article, which I thought was funny. It seems that there was a mass protest of the fast food industry where civil rights activists and community organizers have come together to try to unionize the fast food industry. And I found it funny because it's kind of like all I saw in the picture was just black people. Like, really, this is the only picture of people that you can find depicting the actual fast food industry. It's like, oh, you have to be fucking kidding me, because it says something about who are the people that flips your burgers, that fry up for your fries, that makes your drinks and stuff like that. And I think it's interesting. I think it's good because, I remember that there is a lot of talk where they actually tried to pass. They're actually in the works of trying to pass a minimum wage hike in New York City, but that's going to affect a lot of shit. And more or less, Bloomberg got on the fucking wagon and was like, yo, listen, you're going to make a lot of people angry, yada, yada, yada. I am against this 110%. And the funny thing is, he was in discussions on trying to raise it to $9, but the new law that they tried to get passed had to deal with you either getting $10.50 an hour, like $10 an hour with healthcare benefits that the company provides for you, or $11.50 an hour without healthcare benefits. I wouldn't mind getting that. $11 an hour in this day and age is a lot. Trust me. I know, yo, fuck, I'm broke as shit. But, I give big props to the people who are down there actually trying to unionize, because, probably, I think it was a year or two ago where they actually broke up unions. There was actually legislation passed in certain states where it gave the state the power to dissolve unions, and basically what that did was it took negotiating and bartering power away from the workers collectively, because that's what unions do. Unions are basically, we're an amalgamation, a collection of workers under an organization that argues for better pay, better working conditions, so on and so forth. So seeing this in New York is interesting for the simple fact they're doing it in the fast food industry, and I don't know how they're gonna work that out, but I'm gonna keep my head in. I'm gonna keep my head in that and see where that goes. All right, that's it for Fireside Chat Preludes. Deuces.